Huh? Pierre Davis. Yeah, he.
You go see her on fire?
Yeah. I know I had it on Instagram.
Can you see that?
I don't think so. Wait, look at it. I don't think it's in the radio.
Yeah, man, I like y'all the setup, man. This was nice, man. It's real dope. And you get to sign the dope, huh? That's what's up, man. Come on, man. I give y'all some curses. Anything you want. I put it in bread. I mean, yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna feel it there.
Yeah, right?
Dog, you ain't got no choice. Son.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Look at that shit.
Man, I gotta go follow y'all on YouTube too, man.
Yes, sir.
And share y'all page, man. It's on what we gonna network this thing, baby. Man, that's when that Gucci man was just hitting. Every week he was coming out with something.
Yeah.
Man, what?
That boy Gucci, man.
Goo-wop, man.
Y'all know what it is, man. We back once again inside of the Pressbox.
Yeah,
With another
man.
smashing episode finna come your way. I am your host, Barlene.
This your
my
boy.
brethren.
Yes, sir. Your boy CA, not to overlap you know, but yeah, this your boy CA, and we in here together, man. We got a very, very special guest in the house.
Come on, man. Y'all know how we do it, but we can't get into it just yet. We gotta pay these bills, man. Y'all do me one favor. Y'all chunk the deuce up. Y'all hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel. Hit a like, hit a share. Tell somebody, man, to tell somebody because we steady coming with that content, man. But right now, we ain't gonna waste no more time, man. We're gonna get off into it because right now we almost on something like what we call a BOB week, Black Owned Business Week. And we got a brother in the house with us right now, so I know it's gonna go all the way up. Want to introduce our brother Pierre Davis, owner CEO, Euphoria
Eats.
Eats.
Yes,
It's good.
The
Real
sauce.
good.
My brother got the sauce. Now I don't want to jump right into the sauce right
Okay,
so quick,
okay.
man, because
Okay.
again, I want to get to the man behind the sauce, you know what I'm saying, how this all came about, man. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you from.
Okay. I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas. In the Fifth Ward area, Acres Home, Aldine, a little bit everywhere. But
The north side.
on
Okay.
the north side. And so I just pretty much, I came up in the kitchen, man. It was like, it was just intrigued me at an early age, you know. Just being up and behind my grandmother, my aunties, and everybody else, you know, and all of them was happened to be from Louisiana. And so all of my my tasting talents, my creation, it derives from generations of cooking and know how to get in the kitchen and how to make something good for anybody to eat.
Now, wait a minute now, because I can't just let that go and move forward without you saying you in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah, me.
So by what
You know
age?
how
would-
valuable, I ain't trying to cut you, but you know how
No,
valuable it is for a black man to go out in the world and fight with that and then come home and prepare a meal with love that everybody eats.
Yeah, man.
Come on now.
Because it's simple. Our life is very stressful as it is, and we have a whole lot of things that are against us that we all know of. But what better way to come home and declutter than to have you a good plate of heartiness, a good plate of thought, a good plate of, man, I know that this is going to be a nourishment for my family. You know, it's a lot, man. It's therapeutic in a sense, like it is. It's therapeutic.
Okay, I can dig it. I just want to put that on record. Then I'm saying we cooking brothers, man. We in the kitchen
Love
making it happen, man.
I love
facts.
cooks, man.
Big fact. Now you said you from the H, but I
I'm
also
from Houston.
Heard you said, you know what I'm saying, before the camera came on that you traveled to Louisiana.
Yeah, man. So in high school, I traveled to Louisiana. I finished off there at Bossier High School there in Bossier City, Louisiana.
Shreveport, Bossier City.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so I finished off my high school there, and then I went to the Army and went off to college and whatnot, and I also went to Iraq a couple times.
Okay, now what was it like coming from Houston? Because that's one lifestyle.
Yeah, man.
Then coming to the Shreveport, Bossier City area,
That's two
318.
different-
Yeah, we know what time it is.
Yeah, there's two different. There's two different mixes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It really was, but over the summertime, I would always be out at my grandparents' house, and so I had a whole lot of my friends and my family that I already knew out there.
Okay.
And so it wasn't that hard of a transition. It's just a different culture, I'd say the least.
That's what
And
I was saying about.
I slowed down the pace of life, but it's an honest one. And and you actually can enjoy your lifestyle other than having to hustle and bustle
Come
on
on
traffic
now.
all day, having to hit up on the metro, get hot. No, I like it better out there.
It's same way around these Texas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
thing.
man.
Now you said you went to the Army.
Army. Yeah, man. I went to the Army. I went to Iraq actually. It was it was war. It was.
Was you cooking men?
No, man. I had a MOS. MOS in the Army is like having a job in the civilian world.
Okay.
And so I was MOS to be a truck driver of all things, but overseas everybody's infantry. And so just the hustle and bustle of having to go overseas and tell your family goodbye, and you don't know if you're gonna come back or not. But that was very, psychological on anybody.
Come on.
But after you do come back home, you come back with a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
And it kind of make you reevaluate life in its entirety.
Now you was over there. Was it actual life and death situations for you at times?
Well, I'm convoy. Anybody is easy pickings because you're exposed.
Convoys move from one destination to the next.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole group, right?
Yeah.
So you riding, you don't know if they're gonna hit you with a missile right there, or
Yeah,
whatever.
if you go on one of them, your life is in danger. So it's just the whole thing of having to go to war and having to come home. But after I got back home, man, it was just like, thank you God, I have a purpose in life, and I know that I'm here for a reason. And so it just kind of just grew from there. And after I finished up school, it was all like, hey man, what can I do to make my family something without me giving a said company 30 years of my life and I don't get nothing out of it.
There's nothing you can't leave to your kids.
Right,
your
because
family.
they can fire you at any moment.
Anytime.
And if they fire you, you got to start all over again, right?
Yes, sir.
And so the object was to go and find something, find my own lane to go into and create for me and mine, and my family. And my friends helped me out with the whole of the process, and that's how we come with this company.
Okay, since we moving forward,
Okay.
let's talk a little bit about the company.
Okay. The company's called Euphoria Eats. And what Euphoria Eats is, we're a veteran-owned condiment company. We make condiments that are infused with hemp and CBD. So as of now, we're in stores in DC and California and in other areas of the United States of America. And it's just a brilliant concept in its inception to have health in a bottle.
Come on now.
But health in the terms of if you believe hemp is healthy towards your body, which a whole lot of people say it is. A whole lot of people have their own opinion about it, but it actually is. It does a lot of things. You can actually go build a shirt out of hemp.
Come on now.
And it's a whole lot of medication within the cannabis plant as a whole, but you just got to go in and unlock it and infuse it. And we infuse it with a condiment to whereas if you go get a hamburger, french fries, corn dog, what have you, you're getting a dosage of hemp. of CBD, whichever one it is.
You're getting some medicine. It's medicinal.
Right, man,
It has
yeah.
medicinal
Yeah.
purposes in it. Not only does it taste good,
Oh, it's so
It's legit,
look,
man.
it's so good that you'll suck your fingers off. Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
legit.
suck the marrow out of it.
It's
Oh,
legit. I had
Yeah.
to bring him down here and let you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the setup,
Ask
man.
him, buddy. Ask him right there.
Yeah.
he told me.
Nah, he had
I
it. He
told
had it
him.
over
He
there.
need-
Once
come on,
again, another person from the East Texas Extravaganza.
Mhm.
That's what it was
He
called?
said extravaganza last Sunday. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I seen him over there. I seen people steady stopping. I was like, man, I gotta get to. We was on FaceTime. And I was like, man, there's somebody over there. There's a cat over there with some sauce. He was like,
Yeah,
man,
man.
get to him
Yeah, man.
and get you some of that
It's
sauce.
legit, man. I mean, and just think about it, okay? We all hate to swallow pills. We all hate to swallow a Robitussin, anything. But in this right here, you don't taste nothing. You taste hot sauce. You taste
Come on now.
barbecue sauce. You taste
Yeah.
ranch. You taste honey mustard. You
Come
taste
on.
all of our 11 condiments that we have now. Like you don't taste nothing but goodness, and
Yeah.
and they're all handmade.
Now, give me a timeline about when you said I want to start in the condiment line, and what of all the businesses that you could have ventured off into, what made you go with the sauce and when?
Well, I was at a low point in my life at that time. I was just trying to see how I could be, how I could give something out to the world, out to my community, out to my people, and hopefully out to my children.
Thanks.
So it just took me like a while, man. It's kind of like a spiritual journey
Come
in a
on,
sense,
man.
because you don't know which way to go. You just let God just lead you.
Come on now.
You just go.
And so after you are there, and He says, "Hey, I want you to do this," and you can't question God. You're just gonna go with it.
Mhm.
And so I went with it, and I had all of the resources I needed within my friends.
Mm.
And Mr. Pat over there, I've been knowing
Shout
him
out
since
to Pat on
college.
the side.
Oh yeah, and that's the guy that does all of my graphics. He makes everything look immaculate.
Yeah.
But just
He
having
cold.
all of my friends there
Presentation is key, man.
who could do other aspects of the business. You know, a business mind, Hakeem Jones, a business mind, a Jeremy Evans. Like all these guys, they really have a vital part within this company. And so with me just having the sauce and the brand, we just kind of just, sharing the wealth in a sense.
What year was this that you started?
Whew. 2014 was the inception when we first had it in the mason jars. And how that happened was I have an Army buddy. He has a daughter who has epilepsy, right? So he was like, man, I don't want to keep giving her this big old horse pill. I said, well, hey, man, send me some. Because at the time I was like catering and hustling, you know, so I selling her like plates and everything else.
Yeah.
Just trying to make ends meet. So I had some extra bottle of barbecue sauce. I said, well, let me see how this is going to go and mix, because you can't just mix something and just be, okay, it's done. No, you got to go in there and see how you can go and counter a flavor that you don't want in there
Yeah.
to
Just
kind
take
of
something out.
and neutralize it.
Yeah.
I saw the
yeah.
taste of the other cannabis plant is very pungent, it's very strong.
Yeah.
And so you got to have different means and methods to go in there and
Sweet or
There we go.
high.
There we go.
Man, I know a little
And
bit
yin
about
and yang, you know?
yeah.
And so
set it up.
I sent him a mason jar, honestly. It was a mason jar of barbecue sauce. And so he went out there and said, man, I don't know what you did, but you got to send me some more of that. So I sent him 2 cases. Up all night. I made my wife go up all night. And we made the barbecue sauce. And I sent it out there, and he said, man, I got $40 a jar for this. I said, hold on. What? How you get that out of this? I said, because at that point I was ignorant to the cannabis plant.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it did. I didn't know how to even go and extract anything out of it, how to go and get the benefits out of it that you need. So I flew to California.
Right, where the medicinal been legal at.
Yes. I didn't know nobody out there. I didn't know, so I just flew out there. I said, you know what?
It's
God
time.
got me.
Yeah.
I'm for to go.
Yeah.
And so we flew out there, and we met some nice people, man, and they helped me, walk me through processes, the people that I needed to know, and I just happened to fall up in good hands. And I mean, I didn't have my bumps in the road. I messed over a few times, but it's okay. You got to keep pushing.
That's right.
Got to.
And so here we are now with a finished product, and it's standing on its own 2 feet, you know.
Finished products.
Yeah,
Now, that's
and he's
Yeah,
only 3 of
11 of
them.
them.
He's
Yeah.
only 3.
Now tell me about the process of you personally, or your family, or whoever you use to test these products out, because you didn't just go in the kitchen and just, I'm gonna put this and this and this and that's it.
Well, no. Okay, so after I sold that first bottle out the mason jar, and my buddy was like, dude, you really have something here. You need
It
to
was
go ahead and
barbecue
do that.
sauce, right?
Yeah. This one right here, the New Orleans Nights.
Okay.
This is a spicy one.
Okay.
I sent him there right there. He was like, dude, you gotta do something. I said, well, I don't know how. You know, I put a wall up. I don't know how. The whole time, I went to school for this.
Come on now.
So I just said, well, hey, instead of me doing this group project, this is my group project.
Yeah.
And I just did it step by step, and I walked myself through it. Trials and tribulations later, here we are. And it all started off the one because I thought it was going to be a lot of other people who did the same thing, but nobody's doing it.
Honestly, I've only seen personally one other person that I have dealt with that does infuse condiments. We're saying condiments, but we can also say sauce, man.
Yeah,
sauce. The brother got the sauce, man, but you got all these different lines, so it wasn't really you thought it was more competition than it really was when you first started?
Honestly, when I started, I Google searched this now. I Yahoo searched this. I didn't find not one company according to Google and Yahoo, and so that's what I'm like, well, why not me?
Yeah.
You know, why not me? And so after investing my own money into it, and I mean,
you damn right.
It's where we are now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we gotta go get your lab analysis, get this, get that. You gotta know every step of the way. You know, and so now I'm to the point now where I can go and turn you on to the game.
Come on.
And consult you.
Come on.
So get your business up and going.
So what you're saying is you started by really kind of doing a favor, trying to do a service to one of your partners.
Yeah.
And his family.
Yeah.
What was the effects of it to his daughter when she?
Well, according to her and according to him, she had less episodes. And let's just say
seizures.
that. There we go.
Okay.
She had less episodes of her seizures. They didn't go away completely, but it lessened the likelihood of her having them.
Right.
So instead of 20 a day, you might get 1, 2, 3.
And this
But
was,
it just depends on the person and what kind that they have.
and this was much easier for the child to have the sauce than to take this big old pill.
Yeah, because I mean, who wants to swallow that big old pill, man?
Right.
Yeah.
And
You know?
still not be at a level of comfort where
Yeah, and
you're
who wants to feel
lessening
like
the episode.
There we go. And who wants to feel like if they have a handicap in terms of I have to have this, so I won't do this.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to feel equal. Everybody wants
Right.
to not be able to look down upon it as if you need a helping hand or what have you. This is just a way to go and conceal all of that kind of stuff. To whereas you eating a chicken nugget.
And medicate at the same time.
Yeah.
So take me
If
back,
you believe in him or not.
if you don't mind, take me back just a little step. So from you said San Diego, you meet your
Sacramento.
connections. Sacramento, you meet your connections.
Yeah, man.
You get everything set up. So then you come back to work.
Well, man, honestly, we started in Sacramento.
Mm.
I went, I got an LLC, I did all that right there. I set up shop in Sacramento because at that time, that was the only place that I knew it was legal. And at that time, that was the only place it was legal at.
Yeah.
And what you say, this is 6 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
14, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, because in the South, we had never heard the word CBD,
No.
THC, hemp. You know, that's a foreign word to us.
Right.
And so, and to know that there's other things in the cannabis plant except for weed, as they say, it was like, what? And so I did my homework on it, man, and I capitalized on it. And that was that. So, I mean, it speaks for itself, though, with the taste, with the flavoring, and how we all had to set it up. It was nothing but God, man.
I'm glad you took us to that little part because we went from, like you said, from your partner getting the mason jar to you coming up with this look. Where are these now? Because I know you say it started in Sacramento,
Yes, sir.
or California, where it was legal. Where other states? Because now, you know, we got Seattle, we got Detroit, Chicago, Oklahoma.
Well, at that time, you know, you got to go hire you some lawyers and whatnot to see where you can go and sell this stuff at because the laws are very sticky.
Right.
And you got to fly just right, you know, because if you don't fly right, they're going to slap your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, after finding all these people right here, I found out that Arkansas is the nearest place I could go to go and produce my product.
No shit. I didn't know
Legally.
that.
Me neither.
Right.
Me neither.
They hide it within the text. You just
Come
got to go
on,
read it, brother.
Yeah.
So, I moved the business from Sacramento to Arkansas
Okay.
because it's a lot closer
Of course.
than me flying out there every month. So after I got there in Arkansas, I had to have the state of Arkansas had to come out and verify you, see your lab analysis and everything. Like it's a lengthy process. It's a lot of red tape from A, B to C.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are deterred because it's so much red tape and legality that you have to go through. There's so much money you got to spend to get to where you need to get to.
Yeah.
So
Before you even get
I
to-
persevered. I mean, after
Yeah.
after I spent the first dollar, I said, man,
I'm locked in.
I gotta find out something now
Yeah.
because it's just
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna go and burn my money. I just can't go burn my money.
Yeah, right.
So what? Like I said, are you actually in stores now?
Yes.
Where
Yes,
you
sir.
get? Where is your product in stores?
And Local Meditations, that's a head shop as they call it in Washington D.C.
Okay, so
right
we-
there
so
in
we-
Georgetown.
We're Cali, DC.
Yes, sir.
And where else we at?
In some stores in Sacramento, a couple stores in Little Rock, Arkansas, just at our mom and pop stores as of now. But we got a couple of big fish online.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
big fish.
Right. Hey,
Big
man.
fish.
And I can see them actually manifesting too, because just hearing your story, like, you know,
It's
like
meant
you
for
said, you had to persevere through this. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Man, there was a lot of bumps and mistakes along the way, man. But you know, after I find myself again, in terms of on a spiritual level, you know, you got to go through a lot of things to get to where you're gonna get to.
Yeah.
And if you don't go through those things, you'll never get there.
Right.
And so I had to fall, broke on my knees.
Come on now.
Actually, I looked up in God and said, God, I'm here to do what you need to do with me.
Come on.
And trust in the process. And that's how we ended up here, man. Like, that's honestly how we ended up here.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on now.
beautiful.
Now, if you were just looking at the camera right now, I think YouTube World or on one of our lives, you see my brother Pierre. He looks like a businessman.
He is
He
a
speaks
I
like
am.
a businessman.
I am, brother.
And he has an actual product that speaks volumes too.
Yeah.
What is it like as a black man to take your product into some of these spaces where they might not be used to seeing us?
Well, it's all about the presentation. And when you go into these uncomfortable or unsure situations, you only put your best foot forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how would you want your grandmother to perceive you when you come into her house?
Yeah.
You better close the screen, though.
Come on now.
You better take the shoes off.
Come on now.
And speak low and just go with it.
Yeah.
And so I just use that concept of I've grown up within the inner city and just, okay, this is how I want to go and present it out to the world. It had to have my pants on my waist, had to have my shirt, you know, I mean,
That's right.
tucked in, and just say the ma'ams and the sirs and just answer questions truthfully.
Yeah.
In other words, act like you got some sense. You know what I mean? It's like we were saying earlier, it's a time and a place for everything. You got to
It
know
is.
when it's time to
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
down
man.
to business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, as seeing you as my brother, I'm like, man, you really on top of your game
Yeah.
because it's not an oversaturation of the market, and you don't see people really doing it.
Yeah, man.
And I really wish I had a piece of chicken to tell y'all the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Something.
I'm gonna come back
chicken
and cook for y'all, man. I'm gonna have to come back and hook something up for y'all, like some gumbo or something like that.
Oh man, we most definitely.
Oh yeah,
waiting
big
on
old
that.
bowl, big bowl.
We waiting on it, man. Like I said, I got to try a little of the sauce over there, and I was like, man, when you gave it to me, and I told him, I was like, man, I can't wait to get to the eyes. And when I make my next whip up and I barbecue, I'm coming like that. Yeah.
Man, I mean, it's like it's something that you would look over in terms of medicating yourself, because who would ever think that I'm gonna go eat something that's gonna be good to me and it's gonna actually help me? It may help the inflammation of the monthly of a sister that might need some help with that. You know what I'm saying? It may help the lupus of this brother over here. It may help the inflammation that I may have.
I gotta ask this because you know it's a thin line between the CBD hemp
Yes,
and
it
the
is.
actual THC.
Yes, sir.
This product is a hemp infused product.
Hemp infused
it's
product.
no way possible that the THC
No, sir.
is gonna pop up. in
Hemp has 0.000% of THC. I would not legally be able to sell this bottle
in Texas.
in Texas, in anywhere without being behind them bars.
Yeah.
Right.
If it has any amount of THC in it, I stand behind it. I have a lab analysis on
He's
my
a
website.
it's a scientist right there.
That's why
man.
he dressed
To
down for
produce-
down like that. He's not only a businessman.
No, you gotta be a scientist
You
to
know what I
produce
mean?
shit
A
like this.
black business owner.
Right.
He's a scientist,
And so
man.
in the hemp
Yeah.
world,
Yeah,
hemp just
dig that
means
shit.
there's no THC in it.
Right.
Yeah.
A CBD has 0.03% or less of THC in it. And that's the fine line between hemp and CBD.
It is a fine line. So such a fine line. I've heard stories of boys selling hemp, and people think they buying THC,
Yeah, man.
and don't get it until they smoke it and be like, wait a minute.
So crazy if a
somebody
story
right.
that I even seen heard about people getting busted with pounds of CBD
And have to go through the whole court process.
Yeah, but see, and that's the beauty of this business right here. When you do it the right way and get the lab analysis, that's going to go and say, hey, this has been certified by said lab that this is legit, and here's the lab results. Yeah, and that sets up everything.
Come on,
Quick.
now.
So you do your homework, y'all.
Do your homework.
Spend
Yeah.
the money that you need to spend. Don't be cheap with it. Go do it the right way. You don't need nobody infringing upon your future or nothing of that nature. I mean, it's a beautiful business.
It absolutely is.
So you say you on the West Coast
And on the East Coast.
East Coast.
And we're trying to grow now to get into the EU and Canada.
Man.
And so we're making a lot of connections, man, and everybody's asking about it. Like they're raving for this. And after I put them a bottle in the mail and they did it, they called me back and they said, man, I got to talk to you. About what I wonder. This is damn good, man. How do I get this here? Okay, let's talk about it.
Just do numbers.
Yeah, man. I mean, and so, and that's pretty much how we've been doing it.
Now, we got like you said, in the works, you got some big, you know what I'm saying, chains or eyes, you know what I'm saying, in the future that's interested in it.
Right.
What about the mom and pops or the corner stores that say, hey man, I would love to have that product in there. How would they go about that?
Email me, and we can send them a wholesale pricing list.
It's just that simple.
info@euphoriaeatsco.com.
That's
And he
simple.
will have it on the link on the bottom of the page on the YouTube, so anybody can inquire about anything about wholesaling. Like y'all, we don't want all the money. We don't want.
It's not enough. You can't.
It's
They ain't got enough
for all
money
of
to get out
us.
of it.
It's enough for all of us. So if you want to code and have your store and buy some of my product, hit me up, man.
So you still cooking too, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So do
Correct.
you put your products
Yes,
of course
I
on yours?
experiment, man. I have a list of other ideas that I have within the cooking world. Like it's gonna blow your mind. Like you won't believe it. We're gonna have a line of
That's what I'm
of
talking about.
products, rubs,
Man,
etc.
I'm thinking something like to the point of where same way she done, but with food vendors, and that the black, you know what I mean, from soul food vegan to him,
Yes,
to
anybody.
you know what I mean, to different people,
Yeah.
black people, you know, that own that shit. And come on and like, let's put us on a
Look, it can
walk
be
and
done.
eat a chili festival or
It can
whatever
be
you
done.
want to put
It can be
name
done,
on
but
it.
you got to put the money together and put the heads together and the minds together. And if we have the same vision, we both come up
Because
with
I
the
love
same
to
way.
eat. That's what I'm saying.
Man, what? Man.
I'm thinking about something right now. Like
You
you
good
said, I
idea,
want
though.
some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
No,
idea. We
no,
can do
man,
that.
we can do it, man.
Let's do it, man. I mean, we're kings, man.
Come on now.
Exactly.
Come on. Now, as a businessman, you know, you're going through bumps in the road. What advice would you give people who might be right on the brink of starting their own business, but they just ain't went over the edge? And what would you tell them, man, to go ahead and get them going?
Honestly, jump.
Don't worry about
Jump. You're going to catch yourself. Like, at the end of the day,
You got to get out
if you're
there.
scared to get into the deep water,
Yeah.
the best way to go into it is just say, screw it. Whatever happens, happens.
Right.
You know, and kind of just have your faith in whatever you believe in.
Yeah.
Have your faith and trust in your faith and just go from there. I mean, it may work, it may not work, but you tried. You gave it your all.
how much would you say, if not all, your faith has, you know what I'm saying, kept you going through all the bumps? And or have you ever been like, man, I'm forget all this all shit, I'm just gonna get a job?
Well, my faith has been tested a few times in my life. I haven't had the easiest story, but I'm not gonna go that deep into it. But it just say that we've been through some ups and some downs, and so it was a time where I didn't believe in nothing at all, other than I gotta make it. You know, it's survival of the fittest. And so after that time right there, I fell on my knees and said, God, just lead me the way. You know, please, if you're there, just talk to me. Man, when I tell y'all, man, he opened up the ears, man, and started talking to me. And the only thing I could do was cry. Like, square business, crying, man.
Yeah.
I
Real
don't
nigga shit.
think people
And he will break you down, man, and just show you who's in charge and what you need to be doing and what's important to you. If you just listen. And a lot of times we don't listen because we want to do what's going to make other people happy and make us look like we're bigger than what we're really.
Talk about it then, man. That's what we here
And
for.
that's pretty much it, man.
What I heard in some of our level was just for your initial breakthrough. A lot of times, what we don't want to do, we don't want to let go of control. We don't want to surrender.
Yeah, man.
And I've known through my own personal experiences that when you completely surrender and say, "Man, this shit is out of my hands,"
Yeah.
is when you get that breakthrough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a night and day kind of thing, because it's like you're scared and you're told to do what? Go to school, get your grades, get your job. I worked 30 years, retire. You make and live off this money for 15 years.
That's some bullshit that was sold to us.
Right.
Terrible.
And now you're in the grave now.
Terrible.
What have you really gained?
Come on.
Nothing.
The only thing that you gain is a house that your son or your daughter won't know how to go and flip and turn it into a
As soon as they die, they're going to sell it.
Exactly, because they don't know the value of that home. You know, we're not taught economics. We're not taught credit score and nothing like that there. And that's something that ought to be taught in school, but we're not taught it. So it's up to us to go and find out these answers and give it to our children. Because if we don't give it to them, who's going to give it to them?
Nobody.
Right. And they'll get what? Household. I'm on my household.
Same.
The whole time, that's wealth. That's wealth that you can have, not for you, but for what's behind you.
Makes sense.
I mean, you spit.
Man, like y'all, like when I tell y'all, man, that God has worked with me, man, He has really worked with me and worked through me. And I'm humble, brother. I'm humble. Like, I'm not afraid of nothing.
Thanks.
Because I know who are behind me.
Thanks.
And you can't stop me, man.
Nah.
Because I'm gonna outwork you. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna be up all night in my kitchen, making bottles, thinking of strategies. How we're gonna go and unroll this marketing plan? How we're gonna go and infiltrate the Canadian market? How we're gonna do this? You have to. You can't stop after you get off work. That's your time.
Come on.
Like, not I'm gonna work harder for myself, and I'm for these people right here.
Got to.
I mean, so it's just having the mindset, brother, to really just to put it into like details. You gotta believe in it. You gotta think it first. If you don't think it, you'll never believe in it.
But then you gotta put some work in too.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
What you say. That's what I'm
And being
doing.
like discipline with your money and your time. That's the main thing.
Right.
Like, I don't own a pair of Air Jordans. I never have. Nothing against people who do.
Yeah.
But it was just, I grew up poor.
Yeah.
So I could never afford them. So they never had a value to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So if something doesn't have a value to you, it doesn't mean nothing to you.
Right.
Right.
So you can go and focus that money and that energy towards something that's yours, that you own. Even if that's a car wash with 2 buckets, that's your car wash with 2 buckets.
Come on,
You
man.
can make as much money as you want to make, because you could go out here and out hustle everybody and clean these cars in the most efficient manner and make your money. Like, you can do anything, man. And it's crazy because there ain't nobody that's preaching this.
No.
Like, nobody's saying this.
And I think that's because we had a generation, you know what I'm saying, our uncles and them, they was come up on work. So
Right.
they didn't have not all of them, but a lot of us, man, didn't have that entrepreneurial spirit growing up, somebody pushing it. So I think now the tables are turning back. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To teach this next generation that, man, we can create our own wealth, we can do for ourselves, we can circulate our dollar in our communities, in our household.
Exactly.
And really change the
whole narrative.
the economical status that black people are in right now, man.
Yeah, and if we can do that, we have a bigger seat at the table.
I was about to say, that's when everything else changes, when the economic changes. You know what I mean? We get more.
And we first got to back each other first. And nothing against nobody else. Like, nothing against nobody.
Yeah.
I love everybody.
Thanks.
If anybody that know me, they can tell you that. I tell you this all the time. Hey, man, I love you, dog. Because I'd rather say that to you now than when you're in the ground.
Come on, well, I can't hear that shit,
And
man.
it ain't gonna hurt you to say those 3 words. I love you. That means you care about somebody.
Come on.
It can be a stranger that you love. So we gotta love ourselves first.
That's right.
And nothing against nobody else. We gotta love ourselves.
Simple as that, man. We all know this, man. We are self-hatred. We've been suffering that forever, man. That's another thing that's been taught. But like I say, man, I think our duty and love is duty. You show love by what you do, your duty.
Right.
It's a constant thing. But we have been taught to hate each other. We've been taught to not want what I want for myself, for my brother. And we're breaking this cycle, man. I believe this is exactly what these kind of platforms are for.
Yeah.
The extravaganza events that y'all were a part of. You know, for us to really see my sister doing good over there, my brother doing good, he doing good, he got his job he doing, and we all coming together to make
Let's
it work.
network.
Let's do it, man.
do it.
I don't want to give too much because you say you're gonna come back.
Man, I'm gonna come back as many times as I need to come back to go and and further educate people about like CBD, about hemp, about cannabis, about anything.
Yes.
Because with our other job, we have a consulting firm also. We're getting people into this business.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an idea of a hair shampoo, give me a call, man. And I can put you on the same platform that I'm on.
Mine right now.
Right.
And we're going to cut that.
You know, my mind is racing right now, man.
I did.
What you're doing is you really teaching.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, all this work that I got on my own, that I've attained on my own, I don't want to die with it by myself.
Right.
I can give it to you, and you can go and provide for your family.
Right.
And you can go provide for your family. And we all can get off the same plate. And eat real good, too, now. Real good.
And that's what we come to do, man. We come to eat in all aspects, you know what I'm saying? Physically, financially, spiritually, we want it all, man. We're coming back for the crown, man.
Oh, yeah.
Be back in our rightful spot, man.
Right. And discount code. I got to get y'all your own discount code.
Before we get out there, y'all heard what the man said. We're about to be able to send you to his website, present you with a discount code, so you'll get a little percentage off, a little something off, just for being a part of this broadcast right here.
We're going to offer you guys a 15% off if you just go use the discount code Pressbox.
Come on,
it's simple. Pressbox.
One word.
One word.
Pressbox. You can get one of these, the hot sauce or the sweet barbecue sauce, and get you a medical infusion of whatever that you deem necessary that hemp does to you. But it's really damn good. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Buy it, share it. Oh, it's a good stocking stuffer. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Yes, sir.
A good talking point too.
Yes, sir. I can't wait to put people on, man. You gave us a great, you know what I'm saying, background about you, how you guys started with your products. But you say you're gonna come back.
I'm gonna come back.
Tell us about, more about CBD and hemp and the THC aspects and the infusion part, because I want to learn that, and I'm pretty sure our listeners need to be educated.
I don't have a problem with doing that, man. It's a market that can help you out with generational wealth for decades, for years to come after you're gone. After we got our flowers growing on top of us, and your family still be eating off your product, or off your dividends, off your equity, off of this company and that company. So it's just a little bit of networking. But I mean, man, I got a big old head, so I got a lot up there, so I can give y'all as much as I got.
Shit, we want as much as you willing to give.
Yeah, we taking it over here.
I got you covered, man. I got you covered.
Thank you for coming again, man. What's all your links, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can go find us on Instagram at Euphoria Eats Code. That's EUPHORIA Eats, EATSCO, on every platform. That's Twitter, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, and go by the site at www.euphoriaeatsco. It's gonna be down there somewhere.
It's gonna be down there.
Right. And go there and use the discount Pressbox to get you 15% off on your bottle of infused hot sauce and barbecue sauce.
Hashtag lick my sauce, man.
Oh yeah, lick it up, lick it up, lick it up.
That's all you gotta do.
With that being said, we want to thank y'all for tuning in, man, for another hell of a broadcast with an amazing guest, my brother Pierre Jones. Thank you for stopping by.
And Davis.
Yes, sir.
Pardon, Davis. I don't know
It's
where
all good, baby.
I don't know where I got that shit.
It's all
My
good.
brother Pierre Davis, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
CEO.
And thank y'all for the platform,
I love
man.
you too, bro.
I love y'all, man.
Stay tuned
I love
for
y'all
another
too.
episode. He's coming back, man.
I gotta be
This
back.
has been the Pressbox. We out.
Hey man, that was good, man. It was damn good. I appreciate it, bro.
Yes.